Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode, episode number 64 today for the Australian Grand Prix Season 5, the opening round, yes. But first of all, we've got to go back to the end of Season 4, to our contract renewal, where if you were watching right to the end of the previous episode, I told you we wouldn't be renewing our contract with Alpine/Renault, looking to move for a team further up the grids. So far though, we've been on a little bit of a grand tour of all our previous career modes: AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso really, Red Bull, and also Alpine. There are two teams left, one of which Alfa Romeo slash Sauber, but we're going to sign for the other, Ferrari. I decided that a low risk, because let's be honest, we've got most of the perks anyway, and we have signed a contract deal with Ferrari. Yes, I'll reveal who our teammate will be shortly, and also the other driver transfers, because of course Lewis Hamilton will have retired. We've gone for a power mapping thing. Hopefully that's going to help with engine wear and parts, which shouldn't really be an issue anyway. We're doing 25% races, but here we are then at Ferrari. You can see the red car. It's actually not here. It's actually last year's car, so I'll reveal the livery when it is. So obviously though, one little thing which I thought was a glitch, you couldn't actually edit the R&D
nice job
bits.
this season. You've been performing well, and that's putting us in a strong negotiating position contract-wise. Plus, my 10% is getting more valuable. So enjoy your break, and keep up the good work next year.
I feel that cutscene is pretty much dead because we've negotiated beforehand. But yeah, as I was saying, there was a little bit of a glitch with the R&D where I had to fast forward a day to be able to save parts, but we have done pretty well on the engine side. We'll see if we can develop the car though. One change to the calendar: USA is being replaced by Spain, purely because to freshen it up a bit. And here we are then. Here's the car. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do with that car, unfortunately, modding wise. There have been some changes elsewhere. Carlos Sainz replaced Hamilton at Mercedes, so that's going to be an interesting driver lineup of Bottas and Sainz. I've sort of also changed up for their car to sort of keep it fresh and whatnot. And it's sort of been flipped a bit like the Alfa Romeo. Ineos is now the main title sponsor, so the Ineos red is there instead of the Petronas, or Petronas rather, sort of turquoise green thing for then as well. I haven't yet. I do need to make some changes to these mods. I do need to add the Estrella Galicia. I probably butchered that as usual to the Mercedes though. Ferrari, not a lot I could do because the paint file is just a blob, so literally all I could do is turn the some of the decals to white and replace a couple of the decals, just to, the sponsors really on the car, and that's literally all I could do with the Ferrari. Again, they're very limited, and I doubt nothing's going to change. Red Bull hasn't had too many changes, just like real life. Mugen is now on the rear wing. I've also added Mal as well. I presume I've read that Mal do some sort of automotive parts, so in this sort of yes, it's probably not going to happen in real life, but you know, just to put it something there, instead of Honda really there. And obviously they've gained a couple of lucrative sponsors in this career mode of Verizon and Dior as well, just because of their good fortune really of winning the World Championship. So McLaren have a sort of golf colours on their livery. although the Papaya Orange, it's not quite come out. I do still need to play with the paint settings on my Photoshop, so I'm not quite there yet with it. I'm pretty sure I'm there with the colour of the Gulf logo, so yes. Now, interestingly, replacing Sainz is Luca Giotto, an F2 driver, so we'll see how he gets on, if he lasts, or whether McLaren decide to be harsh on him and fire him. Although, judging how the AI has reacted so far, when an AI teammate hasn't done as well as each other, they've not reacted at all, and pretty much Sainz is the only person that's actually moved, apart from Verstappen, who went to Haas. But Verstappen, of course, then went back to Red Bull, and he's now world champion. Now, Alpine, I've sort of put them to bed. Renault are back for a last hurrah, basically, and basically ourselves and Leclerc has swapped places, so he is now driving for Renault. Unfortunately, the Renault, just like most of the liveries in F1 2020, some of the sponsors are copied across, so which is why the Renault and the E-Tech hybrid livery, the hybrid logos are in blue, because they're actually just one logo on the file. So obviously they'll either be, if I put them in black or in white, it's not going to look very nice. So I've put them in blue. It's actually the E-Tech hybrid blue as well. So yeah, I know it's not that great, but it's what we have to live with, I'm afraid, with Codemasters cutting corners. The AlphaTauri hasn't changed that much. I've lost the logo of that sponsor of Gasly, so Jack and Jones is the only custom sponsor other than Mugen, of course, replacing Honda on this car. If I do find it at some point, then I might update it as well. As I said, this is just I didn't get a lot of time to work on this because of what happened on Friday with the F1 2017 video, literally not deciding to render. So I literally couldn't do that. Racing Point have got a new livery. They're now in the green and light green with a little bit of white as well. But gone is BWT, replaced with Cognizant. I forgot what. No, I thought that Guan Yu Zhou, though, had a number of 72, and it's not. It's 92 actually. So you'll see his number in pink for this episode as well. So again, I've got a whole list of stuff that I need to improve. Obviously, I've got to reinstall everything anyway because there's a new update. I say new update. They just patched 3% of the things that's wrong with F1 2020. Yes, I'm not entirely sure of the green. The green is a work. The dark green is definitely a work in progress as well, bearing in mind as well. And some of the logos have slightly overlapped. The Alfa Romeo's had a little bit of an update. I feel that after 5 seasons, Robert Kubica would probably have moved on now from being a test driver of Alfa Romeo. So Repsol have replaced Orlon as their main sponsor as well, and a couple of other sponsors have been altered here and there, including just for old time's sakes, Martini's back on that car, even though they never actually sponsored Sauber or Alfa Romeo in the car. Haas is a bit broken at the moment as well, because it's supposed to look like the Jumbo and Haas logo, and it's come out very light orange, which so I need to look back at that and see why has it failed to do that. It's probably similar reason to why the McLaren is ever so lighter as well, which is a shame. It's not quite work, but I will work on this as well. The safety car as well, I was going to do it, but I ran out of time as well to do the safety car. And Williams is the final car, again unchanged in their team lineup as well. I've changed it up. I've gone for a white rear wing with some a blue and a dark blue stripe, sort of harboring back to the early 2010s when they were a dark blue livery car, where Maldonado and co. Were Maldonado was winning a race basically. Yes, over the winter then, with the technical regulation change, Mercedes it's pretty much the same as it was. Obviously, we didn't do any upgrades for Alpine at all, so they've plummeted back to where they were at the start of season 4. Williams also ahead now of Alfa Romeo and Haas. But moving to qualifying, then what can we do? Can we continue our run of form where we've had 3 top 10 starts in a row? Or will it be back to where we have been before, qualifying outside the top 10? It's a typical there. We're currently in between Giotto and Kvyat, which isn't that great. If we want to take this car forwards, then we're going to have to improve qualifying. I don't know how that I'm going to have to do that, considering the fact even when we were in Red Bull and winning those races, we would woeful in qualifying. You see there, we haven't even improved in the first sector. Now we're improving in the second sector. We've got a tow from Norris up ahead, I believe, in the other McLaren. So we're just trying to follow him also. He's a good yardstick. He's just outside the top 10. We'll be able to see where we are against. We've got Ocon, our former teammate. Are we faster than him? Yes, 1.5 tenths faster than Ocon through the middle sector. It's the last sector where I've been struggling. On par with Vettel, who's ahead everywhere except for the last sector. We're about half a second slower through the last sector, which is annoying. By the way, I'll also if I get a chance, maybe I'll see what other helmet designs as well, sort of freshen it up as well. And we've not had a very good final corner. We did lose a lot of time, but we gained it on the straights, and it's only enough for P13. So we're back to normal then. Qualifying down at the end of the outside the top 10, 8 tenths slower than Vettel. That's typical gap that we had to Ocon. Ocon actually, we out-qualified Ocon. Kvyat, great job by him. He's up in P12. I mean, the Williams might get a nosebleed, being that high up. But we'll see what we can do. It's time for the race, after some questions, of course, from Claire.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
Rival. Now, we haven't had very good luck with our rivals, so we're going to pick an easy one. Nick De Vries. Because they keep, as soon as we pick them, they have their form goes up. So Nick, if he manages to go up, then that will be going from last to second last. Are we missing our old team and Ocon? Well, no. The car is a little bit better, although our qualifying hasn't changed a lot.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at Albert Park, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. And home to round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. And they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, and Albon, Leclerc, Norris, Vettel, and Lance Stroll, Giotto, Kvyat, a Ferrari, and Ocon, Joe, Latifi, Antonio Giovinazzi, and George Russell, De Vries, and Nobuharu Matsushita. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Well, thank you, Jeff. We'll see what we can do from outside the top 10. Now, interestingly, we're going to have to I changed the strategy up. Apparently, going long on the softs. We'll see if that works. We have got the option of coming in up early if the tyre wear does get aggressive, but it's a 25% race, so it shouldn't really be that high. It's not going to rain, so that's good. Flight lights, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix, and it's a good start, better than Gioto. It's actually an electric start. We've already up into 8th place, 5 places made on the start. We're not even to turn 1, but now we've not slowed down in time. We had to sort of been pushed into the gravel by Gasly, who's had Albon on his outside, and we have to sort of couldn't really do that. 4 wide. Yeah, not really any space for us to be able to make the corner, so cutting across the gravel, and the FIA is deeming that we didn't really make any upgrades. We have a look now at Lando Norris, who was one of those people. He's actually had a poor entry out of turn 3, going through turn 4, and we've gone up the inside and up into P7, and that's what we like to see. We jump to our race leader. Carlos Sainz got pole and is now comfortably leading, at least to Max Verstappen. So could this be Sainz ready to challenge Verstappen's crown in the Mercedes? As we watch Charles Leclerc, his new team, his career at his new team, hasn't got off to the best of starts. Had got front wing damage at turn 1. I think he was on that one of the 4th cars in, was being 4 wide in the Renault, and he is in the pits. Although we should be able to make those mediums go to the end. During its 25% races, Gioto is following Norris now instead of Leclerc, and then it's from Vettel and then Stroll leading Alfa Romeo. Although we jump to lap 4 now as Gioto's going around the outside, which will turn to the inside for Gioto, and he is overtaking his more experienced teammate Norris. As we jump to lap 7, Kevin Magnussen's time, well, it's not looking great. If Mugen, first race for Mugen, and already one of their 4 cars is out with an engine failure. That brought out the safety car, and we're gonna I think everybody's coming in pretty much, including Vettel. We're going to double stack with, obviously though we're ahead of Vettel, not really able to do. We had another DRS failure, by the way, which is annoying, although we weren't really close to Gasly anyway, but we will be close up to there. The top 3 teams are definitely fastest around here in Australia. We'll see if we can catch them up at some of the other tracks and are sort of better for me, because Australia hasn't been the one in career mode. As Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon, by the way, did not stop under the safety car, so they're still on that. They've still got to stop. And this is also interesting, even with Sainz and Albon still out there on their soft tyres. Danny Kvyat is in the points, so there's points on offer for Williams today, something that we haven't really see too much in season 4. As we now on the safety car restock try to go around the outside of Gasly, get squeezed off blocked off rather by Bottas in the Mercedes car. We're going to try and race Gasly down to there. We're going to try and around the outside of Bottas. You're trying to use overtake through in the middle of the corner, but in the end we have to settle down for P5. And I'm sure Bottas now will use the pace advantage that he does in that Mercedes. Gasly now is all over the back of us. He's blocked us off here, and we've made bang wheels there. We've somehow managed to make it through, scrape it through there, but this, he just literally saw, I'm just not going to bother to turn. Look at this, he doesn't turn enough. He only turns after he goes past the corner, which he should have really turned a little bit more earlier, as Albon is a sitting duck for Bottas, even though Sainz is using his pace and still has the lead, which is such a shame for Sainz, that his chances of winning his debut race for Mercedes is gone down in tatters. Verstappen now will take the lead, and he's looking comfortable on those hard tyres. Even though he is on the hard tyres, he's comfortable to Bottas. Then ourselves and Gasly are scrapping for 3rd place and the final podium. We could be on for a podium. We've managed to somehow get in a position where we could be on for a podium. Gasly is lucky to shut the door rapidly on Gasly, and he's lucky to keep his front wing as Gasly has another look on the outside into turn 1 on turn 15, or lap 15, excuse me, nothing doing there. And Vettel now is having a go at Giotto. This is for 5th place, so it'd be good if Vettel could get ahead of Giotto and obviously help us in the Constructors' Championship. But Giotto keeps it through on the final corner. A great job for Giotto to get 5th on debut as we crash across the line to celebrate our first podium for Ferrari, our first for the Scuderia. Can we keep this up and develop the car into a championship winning car? We'll have to wait and see. But yes, Verstappen comfortable in the end over Bottas, and ourselves, we've got a lot of work to do if we want to make this do. Leclerc and Latifi would have got points. He hasn't actually. I don't think he's actually got any points at all in this career mode, but he got a 5-second penalty for a little bit of collision with Leclerc, which is one of those penalties that really shouldn't be a penalty under the safety car. I know the one we've had seen a lot. I'm sure you've had them as well in on online. It's the same penalty where you just slightly touch the car in front of you and both cars get a penalty, which is really unfair. But yes, looking at the standings, we're P3 in the standings, highest we've been for a long time. P2, 3 points behind Red Bull in the Constructors. Can we stay there? We'll have to wait and see.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Yeah, we were a little bit lucky with Albon and Sainz, but we do need to work on the car. If we do work on the car and get those ultimate upgrades, then we should be comfortable.
All expectations. What's your secret?
Well, that be telling. Dive bombing everybody at turn 1 is the secret that I've been employing for the past 64 episodes. I wouldn't say it's better, but the Renault did struggle in certain areas of the corners. This has sort of the other effect with the Ferrari. It's a little bit too draggy, which will work on that, improving the with the chassis, the aero side and the engine as well will work on improving the overall straight line speed and the aerodynamics of the car. Fighter up on the rivalry then over De Vries. And driver acclaim is going up as well. But yes, R&D, you can see there I did purchase in between practice and qualifying. I purchased a minor front downforce. I don't understand why the team had already purchased that. We've got 3 ultimate upgrades plus a minor DRS upgrade, which will be the last one to go on. There's an ultimate brakes upgrade which would be available, but unfortunately the weight redistribution upgrade and the weight reduction upgrade with the 2 big upgrades on the chassis side that I really want on the car, I first have to put on ultimate tyre upgrade on the car, which is a little bit annoying, but that is the way the Ferrari tree is going. I'm not too fussed about the engine side. One ultimate upgrade on the engine power is all that's left, but we have got two major upgrades from Ferrari coming in July and August, and then there's a minor one coming at the end of the season as well on that side. So hopefully we can build that as well. Durability, not too fussed about that. We've got, again, Ferrari will provide upgrades for that. I'm not too fussed either way. We're not even the bottom team on that anyway. So I think we can just leave it. For me, if we get to a point where the constructors is more important and Vettel sort of starts having engine issues, then we might looking into it. But until then, we're not really at that point yet. We need to get the car upgraded first, and then we'll probably leave durability to the end, really. But yes, that's where we're going to leave today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news, see plenty more episodes of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode with Ferrari now, as and when they come out. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, much watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.